Alright guys, we got the new patch notes from Blizzard. As you've probably noticed for the past, 2 days, including today, they've been doing live maintenance. Let's dive into the patch notes. Are Barbarians saved? We're gonna find out together. Alright guys, before we dive into the patch notes, I do want to say I just opened up my Discord. Shout out to everyone that helped me with doing this. To not just the main game I play, but to Diablo 4. So if you're wondering how can I make my build better, there's a section for that. If you're wondering, if you just want to talk, or you want to see where a lot of the big theory crafting happens, or you're a theory crafter yourself, you have numbers, you have graphs, join the Discord, let's have some conversations. We can talk about the patch notes for sure in detail there. I mean, we're going to in this video for sure, but if you want a Discord and you want to hang out with other like-minded players that, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're casual, hardcore, whatever you want to do, it's going to be a place for everyone where you can talk, figure out what works the best, because this game is very new and things are far from solved, especially with patches like we're going to see on some of the changes that are coming out. Some of them can be build changing and defining for sure. So with that short announcement, let's get into the game. If you want to know where to join the Discord, check the pinned comment below. We have the D4 patch notes live June 27th. Let's get straight into it. First, we have bug fixes, dungeons, events, and other activities. Players couldn't engage, okay. Issue with whispers. I didn't really see that. Maybe you guys have, but an issue with those who call storm events. None of these, I mean, I'm sure these are problems, but do we really care about this? Fix an issue with the pinnacle boss. So Uber Lilith would appear again with no health bar if killed during a specific phase. Interesting. I wonder what this means. I wonder if she's going to phase at certain health now. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. It's going to make it a lot harder for a lot of builds, for sure. So you can't just one-shot through it, but fix an issue where progression could be blocked in Cathedral Capstone Dungeon in... Interesting. So are they nerfing boosts to alts? Or no, this fixed an issue that could be blocked. Okay, never mind. I completely read that wrong. Characters could be damaged and killed during Shawno completion cutscenes. I remember this. Gameplay fixes, Insatiable Fury. Prevented Druid from transforming. Okay. Spider host enemies remained upright after exploding. Noticed that for sure. Socketed gems can be mass salvaged. An issue where players are unable to teleport to Saragar while in Saragar. I don't know about that. Corpse tendrils could cause corpse visual to disappear. Camera would not zoom out when joining, never had that. Barbarian players would get stuck between bone walls after using charge. Okay, first of all, it's not just charge. They could have done better. I showed a video of me whirlwinding and in Hammer the Ancients where it pushed me and it pinched me in between a wall. I don't know why they just fixed charge. Listen, we'll take what we can get. Charge enjoyers, hey, if you're one of them, I salute you. You're fixed. Rogues would remain invisible to other players, whatever. Tornadoes would cause the players to be stuck. Cash's world tier could be brought into higher world tiers and provide rewards for that. Okay, whatever. Burning power, the sword did not account for. We don't really care about this. Local issues. This is nice. Quests, nice. UI. Chat could be expanded. Party members' HP would be 0. That most people notice. GPU not supported. Okay. Druid boons, Xbox, potions would be missing. What am I missing here? Anything interesting? The swear abilities would display as not yet learned. Never had that. Miscellaneous. Couldn't create a clan. Shop. Randomized look. Yeah, we don't really care about that. Okay, experience rewards. This is what I'm talking about. Significantly increased the experience awarded for completing Nightmare Dungeons. We needed this. Significantly increased the experience gained from killing monsters in dungeons. Really good. Helltide chests now provide more bonus XP when opened. Really good change. Significantly increased rewards. Experience from completing individual whispers across the boards. Okay. An issue where no experience was awarded for completing the holdout style event. Not sure about that one. But, I mean, these are good changes. These are really good changes because, let's be honest, if you've been doing this, who the hell wants to be spamming normal dungeons all the way to 100? Not me. I have a 100. I have a 70. Ain't nobody got time for that. That is not fun. That is boring gameplay, and that's just an L overall. In general, the Helltide roaming bosses will now more consistently drop higher quality loot. That's good. Players can now teleport to their Nightmare dungeons directly through the map. Amazing. Weekly bonus caches for world bosses no longer have a level requirement for opening. That's nice for sure. Okay, here we are. Moment of truth, team. Moment of truth. Lunging strike. Base damage increase from 30 to 33%. What? 30 to 33. So if I'm doing 30 damage, I do 33 damage? I mean, listen, lunging strike, I don't know why they added this. I really don't. Fury gen from 9 to 10, respectable. One more Fury, we take what we can get. But the base damage thing, who the hell is scaling lunging strike damage? Honestly, be real with me. Nobody. Bash, Fury generated increase from 10 to 11. Enhanced Bash's Fortify from 10% to 20%. Could be interesting for sure. That's a significant Fortify gain. Frenzy base damage increase from 20 to 22. I don't think that's enough to make it viable. I think you would have needed 20 to 35%. And it still wouldn't be like broken OP. Because that's obviously, they're probably trying to underplay it. And then they're going to tune it later. That's what most game companies do that. They try to underbuff. Because if you overbuff things, then it's like, hey, what are you doing? Okay, Flay bleeding, base damage increased from 36 to 40. The bleed wasn't huge, so it's whatever. Fury, okay, so it looks like a lot of their generators, they moved up by 1 Fury, which is good. Enhanced Flay's vulnerable chance from 10 to 15, which means 20 to 30 if you're using a two-handed weapon, which is good. This is used quite often in pushing, so that's a pretty decent change there. Double swing base damage increased from 36 to 40. Double swing can pump. It's a clunky skill to use, but I don't know. I don't think this is a big enough jump per se, but I don't think enough people have really tested double swing. Kick cooldown reduced from 17 to 13 seconds. Hey, kick meta. We could be here. Base damage dealt to enemies knocked back in terrain increased from 54 to 70. That's a pretty sizable jump. Now, I've heard about kick builds, but the thing is, how consistent can you really knock enemies into terrain? That's going to be the key factor here. See, if you can make it work, you can make it work, but as soon as you can't hit terrain for that bonus, charge enhanced charges base damage dealt to enemies knocked back in terrain from 15 to 30. Okay, so there's a huge kind of shift here into you want to be knocking enemies into stuff for these cool skills. We'll just call them cool skills. They are pretty cool if you've ever used them. So kick charge might be on the menu, to test. Leap, mighty leap slow increase from 50 to 70. I don't know. That's CC. I don't know. That just seems slow. Enhanced Iron Skin's barrier from 10 to 20. Okay, so this is a big change. Big survivability change. Prime Call of the Ancients bonus attack speed from 10 to 20. Okay, first of all, fixed Whirlwind, mega scale with attack speed. Miss me with anything outside of that. I mean, this is going to be good for leveling for sure, but I don't know. Iron Maelstrom cooldown reduced from 60 to 45. Big if you know how to reduce the cooldown of this already. Based on the skills, if you swap multiple skills for the bonus, you further reduce it, so Iron Maelstrom could be in. Critical strike chance from 10 to 30, that's a big jump. 20% increase. Iron Maelstrom bonus crit damage from 20 to 40%. Like that a lot. Bounding Slam base damage increase from 75 to 112. Interesting. Okay, legendary aspect. So, I mean, so far so good, but they kind of ignored the meta builds. Maybe that's on purpose. I don't know. I mean, there are some clear benefits to Hammer of the Ancients that I could see, but they kind of ignored those, which you kind of hate to see it. Developers note the below includes changes to flat damage legendary aspects. The effects scale with item power, for example, at 820. The Earthquake increases from 1747 3404 to 2687 3717. So decent power scaling. So the Earthquake flat damage increases from 0.39 to 0.76 and 0.6 to 0.83. So these are, yeah, so flat damage doesn't scale the greatest. However, Earthquake flat damage increased from 0.39 to 0.76, same as above, but Dust Devils does hit hard. We've gone over this before. I've showed 300,000 crits already, so this could be big. Although the increase isn't too big, so maybe not so much. Windlasher, Dust Devil flat damage from 0.16 to 0.25, 22 to 0.32, whatever. Devilish, Dust Devil flat damage, it's a 0.16 increase, and then there's a 0.12 increase here. Iron Warrior, this is big. This is something I use for pushing, and I know how strong it is. Damage reduction increase from 10 to 20%, which was already really good in my opinion, to 15 to 25. So this, I have it in a lot of builds already, so it's not going to change much. You're just going to be tankier. How much of a difference will this make? I mean, assuming you were running with a max roll, 5% additional damage reduction, significant. Not like massive, but I would say significant for sure. Overkill, damage increase from 16 to 30% to 24 to 38%. So this is referring to the unique Overkill. And then Hellhammer, flat damage increase from 0.3, 0.5 to 0.6, 0.8. We're going to have to test this for sure. We are going to have to test this for sure. The problem with these uniques, as we've kind of gone over in our uniques video, is when you're losing crit damage, vulnerable damage, core damage, and strength, and the uniques don't have them, it can be problematic. It can be really hard to justify using them over your normal weapons. So the bonuses kind of have to be crazy. I wish they would have changed more, to be honest with you, than just these, I'm not going to say small changes, because without testing this, we don't really know. But overall, these are rather small compared to what you lose in the end. So we'll see. Okay, let's see if the Druids were nerfed at all. Let's just see. Okay, so we have Earth Spike, damage increased, increased, attack speed increased. We're looking for decreased here, just to see if they balanced anything. Third, increased. So they're just buffing the good classes. Base damage increased again. 2025. Okay, so no nerfs so far. Cooldown decreased. Okay, damage increase. Okay, bruh. Alright, so I guess they're leaving the build that takes no skill to do Nightmare Dungeon 100s. Okay. Necromancers, Reap, increase. Base damage, increase. Base damage, increase. We're looking for a decrease here to see if there were any tuning to these builds that are just critting for 10 million every single like millisecond. Base damage increased. I mean, I guess it's fine if they're buffing other non-meta builds, but some things clearly need to be balanced. That's kind of clear. So we have an increase to Thorns. Duration reduced from 15 to 12. That's a buff. Damage taken requirement reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. Minions now engaged with... That seems like a good quality of life for Necromancers. Base damage increased from 80 to 120. Okay. Instead of that, we have more increases. Legendary aspects increased. Okay, so they're not nerfing anything there. Let's take a look at rogues here. I mean, I don't think rogues were that overpowered, so increases seem right across the board here. I wonder if... Hear me out. I wonder if they're doing this patch to buff everything first, to get all of the skills more in line with each other. This would actually be really smart. I had my doubts at first and said they're just buffing a ton of stuff and they're not addressing any of the kind of core issues of a lot of the broken classes, but this is actually kind of smart. I'm going to tell you why. So you have your busted builds up here, then you have like everything else from here. If they start slowly raising these builds up, not to the busted level, but just getting them more on par with the higher end, then it's going to be clear to see how much stronger the busted builds are so they can nerf it properly. Because if I had to make an educated guess, after playing games for a long time and working with developers who develop these games for a long time, and some pretty big names too, the smart thing to do is you never want to mess up a nerf, ever. You don't. Because if you nerf it and it's still too strong, you look stupid. If you nerf it and you kill a skill, Barbarians, how's it going? It's stupid. It's just stupid. So this is actually good. In my opinion, it's good. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section for sure, but this looks like a good change overall. Kind of buffing all of the skills so they're all more in line with each other. Then they can sit down and say, what are the analytics? What skills are just completely insane, and what is the new level we have to bring them to compared to everything else that's pretty much trash for now. So I'm okay with this as long as they follow through with the second part here. So increase. I mean, I guess it doesn't even include any like bug fix section here. You would think, okay, gameplay adjustments. I don't think I missed anything. Quests. So we got some good quality of life. This is a good patch. I'm not gonna lie. This is a good patch. Diligently monitoring your feedback as we introduce patches. Keep your experience smooth. We will update the list and to note whether fixes are intended for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, or all platforms. So this is good, but the next one will probably be the bigger one. I'm not saying this isn't big. I think a lot of builds for many classes are now going to become a lot more viable than they currently are. I mean, I know I cover Barbarian here a lot, but I have a Druid, I have a Necromancer, I have a Sorcerer. All of them are in World Tier 4. Don't have a Rogue because I don't know, not my style. But I have the rest. My Necromancer, I'm not using the busted build. I'm using a different build that I think is very fun, and it pumps. It's the first build to clear Nightmare 100 on it. You might be thinking, isn't that the busted build? No, it's not. It's not the Bone Spear that's deleting Uber Lilith in like 2 seconds, or the world bosses in 3 seconds. But as of right now, kind of like my point before, this is good in my opinion. This really is good in my opinion. All we can do is wait for the future. This is a step in the right direction for sure.